diabetes. And they showed that if you have 5 servings of whole grains a day, 4 servings of green vegetables a day, 3 servings of dark pigmented fruit a day, 2 servings of lean protein a day, and 1 hour of activity a day, 100% of the participants who fulfilled the program had their type 2 diabetes cured in less than 3 weeks, or in 3 weeks. And so I looked at that study and I realized that out of the 63 people who started, only 30 finished, yet all 30 of them were completely cured. And I said, we've got to make this easier for people. And if you look at our transformation, you look at the activated barley was the food of gladiators, the slowest burning carbohydrate in history. Activated barley was literally created by the Greek and Roman physicians to keep babies alive when their mothers died giving birth, and it was responsible for fueling the Roman army, which is the fastest marching army in history. They were called men who eat barley, and activated barley is a key to this transformation. And so when we look, excuse me, I lost my train of thought there for a second, but when we look at this UCLA study, and we see that we fulfilled the need for the grains with the activated barley and the rice bran, fulfilled the servings of whole grains, we fulfilled the servings of green vegetables, fulfilled the servings of fruit, fulfilled the servings of lean protein. Literally, the 10-day transformation mirrors the scientific research done at UCLA and oftentimes mirrors those same results. So, when we're talking about people's lives and we're talking about how are we going to change someone's life, well, the best way to do that is quickly and effectively. So when we look at the transformation and we see how are we going to get people involved in it, I was listening to our Thursday night call just a few days ago. Did anybody tune into that call? I wish you would have, because there's a woman there and she was a pharmaceutical rep making $360,000 a year selling drugs, and she didn't feel good about it. She became a Purium member, quite a dichotomy, and she began, and this is what she did, and it really blew my mind. She got together with 2 other people and she said, we're not going to start until we have 12 to 14 people ready to start the transformation at the same time. And they gathered their list and they built their list and they bought their product and they waited and they got their 14 people, and then they went crazy on Facebook. They all announced to everybody they knew that this is what they were doing. They were going for it, and they started posting their results. Today, 1 year later, she has exceeded her income at Purium than she was making at the pharmaceutical company. And she'd never done network marketing before. She just started with a group of people, and that 14 people, every single one of them now has achieved some rank. I don't remember what it was, 1 crown or 2 star or something like that, but it just started with one group of people dedicated to make something happening for themselves. And so when we talk about Purium, and people ask me all the time, well, why did you choose network marketing? And I say, at first I was afraid of it because I had seen that some network marketing companies had done some things that didn't make me real trustworthy of them. But then I realized I love God, and I see a lot of preachers on TV late at night begging for money that I don't really believe are representing Him. There's nothing wrong with God just because people abuse His name. And there's nothing wrong with free enterprise just because people abuse that as well. But here's what I learned about free enterprise. And I want you to pay really close attention to this. Free enterprise isn't free. Free enterprise dictates that if someone buys something, then someone will be smart enough to sell it to them to take their money. The only reason why all of those McDonald's are out there, the only reason why there's genetically modified food out there, the only reason there's trans fats out there is because we are spending our money on them. And the minute that we stop that, then the world changes. Has anybody ever voted in an election for somebody they wanted to win and they didn't win and you were disappointed? Anybody? Has anybody ever voted for somebody in an election they wanted to win and that person did win and they were still disappointed? You see, we don't vote with our ballot box, we vote with our dollars. You take your wallet out and you grab a dollar bill and you wave it in front of one of those companies and you say, you don't get this, I'm putting it back in my pocket because what you're putting on the shelf is poisoning my children. What you're putting on the shelf is not going to allow me to live a long life free from disease. You put your money back in the pocket and I guarantee you that the world changes. Imagine that you're the CEO of Kellogg's and you have 5 machines that make sugar frosted flakes and 5 machines that make Wheaties. And the 5 machines that make Wheaties are almost never running. They're only running half the time. And the 5 machines that make sugar frosted flakes are always running an overtime shift because they can't make enough. Well, you're going to stop and you're going to go, you know what, let's forget about those machines making Wheaties. Let's convert those to make sugar frosted flakes because they're just sitting still. And we're paying extra money. See, this is economics. They didn't say, hey, let's only sell sugar frosted flakes. No, you said, hey, let's only buy sugar frosted flakes. And that's where the problem happened. So the reason I'm telling you this is because Purium Health Products has changed everything. We have a line of products that are guaranteed non-GMO. We are the first network marketing company to become part of the non-GMO project. We have products that are guaranteed to be chemical-free, fertilizer, pesticide-free, 100% free of any chemicals, and they're the purest superfoods on the planet. Does anybody know what a superfood is? No? Anybody know who Michael Jordan is, or was? Well, Michael Jordan came onto a basketball team that wasn't doing very well. In fact, they hadn't had a winning season in 15 years. And in his 8 years with them, they won 6 championships or something like that. That's a superstar. Superfoods are like superstars. You could have a fairly average diet, and you add a few superfoods to it, and all of a sudden you could have a life-changing championship type of diet. You see, the foods that we're offering are the Michael Jordans of the superfood world. They're the Michael Jordans of the food world. And so when you ask yourself, how am I going to effectuate change? How am I going to change? Well, you start with yourself. You start by you yourself having a personal experience with the transformation. So I want to ask, how many people here have had a personal experience with the transformation? Okay, and how many people of you have had at least one or more, just one person start a transformation because of you? Okay, now keep your hand up if you've had 2 people start a transformation because of you. 3 people, 4 people, 5, 10. Oh my Lord, 20. Seriously, 30. 50, 100, 1,000. Oh, I thought I think there's some. Awesome. Now think about it now, and congratulations and thank you. Now, who in the audience considers themselves the world's best salesperson? Oh, maybe 5 of you. Okay. How many people think that you're not, definitely not the world's best salesperson? Okay, great. Here's the reason I love that is because the last thing I wanted any of you to do is to go out and say, hey, I want you to join this awesome company and make a bunch of money. That's the last thing I wanted you to do. What I wanted you to do was be able to go out and tell somebody, hey, I've got a $50 gift card for you. I had an amazing experience with this program. I'd like you to experience it, but at the very least, I want you to try some of this company's products. Would you like a $50 gift card? And that's really caring, and that's really sharing. And here's what I love about Purium, is that we're helping me fulfill my dream. we're helping, everyone here is helping me fulfill my promise to God. I've got